Hey, everybody, welcome back to Fixing Things. On this episode, we're going to put a catastrophic converter on my daughter's minivan. Man, we've done diagnosed that car so often, and we put new O2 sensors and everything else, and last week it almost left her stranded. She says it was smelling bad, like it was getting ready to catch fire. It had no power. So the only codes that it was throwing before was O2 sensors. So it's either the catalytic converter or the O2 sensors, but we put O2 sensors on it. So that means the catalytic converter. That's okay. I got a new one. It's supposed to have all the parts in it. I got it on eBay for around 40 bucks. Not bad. It's supposed to be slip it on, bolt it on, put your gasket on, cramp it down. Done. It's never that easy because getting the old one off is always a problem. Hey, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers. I can smell it. I got my heat pump working. I can feel the warm air coming in. I just got done installing the heat pump mini split system on my daughter's RV. If you're interested in those heat pumps, I got 3 videos out there on them right now. You can check out how I did it from the RV to the garage to my back bedroom. And I'm getting ready to put a full system in a full-size trailer. But it won't be a mini split. It'll be a mini split kind of. It'll have the outdoor type mini split unit. It's variable speed and everything, and the inside unit will be like a regular inside unit. It's all comes in a kit with the hoses. Tighten them up just like I do on these. All right, so let's get with it. Get this door up, get that minivan in here, and see if we can't get some work done on it. Man. Oh, and then it's snowing outside. Whew. All right, you listen up, see what it sounds like. Oh my God. Too fat. That's why I gotta build that exercise room. All right. Now that I let all the heat out of the building, I need to give me a thermometer in here thingy. Definitely when I started it up, exhaust is plugged. It's plugged. So I am 99.9% sure that it's the catastrophic converter. All right, let's get up underneath here, see what we got going on. Watch it be really hard. Oh yeah, I don't know what I got myself into. So it's, at least the bolts are up there. We're gonna have to cut the pipe-ish. It doesn't quite look like the same one. But the bolts are way up in there. Have to get some lights in here. I think first thing we need to do is get some PV blaster. Up on the nuts and on the O2 sensor. Alright, so here's how the new one comes. Comes in a box, it's already got pre-holes in it. Comes in a plastic bag for some reason, like it's not gonna ever get moisture in it. That's it. And it comes with all the hardware. So it comes with the bolts to bolt the flange on, and it comes with a new clamp to clamp the thing. So we're gonna have to cut the pipe, slide this on, and then bolt it back onto the unit. So we're gonna have to do some fancy figuring out to get my length right. So while it's warming up in here, I'm gonna go ahead and, should never open that door, huh? But I had to get the thing in here, the car in here. All right, first thing I wanna do is I wanna get my O2 sensor off. So this is a 22 millimeter. That thing wasn't even very tight. There's that. Then we're gonna put impact on there, on the bolts holding that. And we're gonna have to cut this pipe right off in here somewhere. It's cold, that Arctic blast is coming through. Oh gosh. And my heat pump out there is not working right. I think it's got Freon, low on Freon. All right, so let's see if we can get. So what I got done is I got 2 extensions and a 12 millimeter 6-point socket in my DeWalt impact. I'm gonna start with the top one on the driver's side first. So it uses these nuts that got little wings on them to hold them in place. I got 3 of them down there on the ground. The bolts. Now I got the hardest one to get to yet. All right, I got the top one off. Probably the camera won't focus. But that sucker was up in there tight. And, well, it wasn't up there really tight. It was very tight to get to. It looks like there's a lot of room there, but there's not. You can see the hole that I had to reach through to get it. So what I had to use to get that bolt off, and here's the bolt. Throw that on the ground because kit's got new stuff. As I got a socket. The other ones came off fairly easy. You can get right to them from the bottom. A 12-inch extension, another 12-inch extension, and a 6-inch extension, and my wobbly ratchet wrench or socket wrench, and I got it off. Took me some time. It took me almost an hour. You turn it a little bit and it would flop off. Get it back on there, take you 5 minutes to get it on there, turn it a couple more turns and it would come off. Eventually it went on. The new one has some grooves in it, so I'm hoping the new grooves are gonna make it easier. I don't know, we'll find out. But now we gotta cut this exhaust off. All right, so the new one comes down and bends and clamps on right in here. We're gonna cut it over here. This is fuel lines right here. Nice, you can put it right next to the Catalytic converter where it's really hot, all the fuel lines. Well, we're gonna cut it back here, then take a measurement and find out exactly where to make the cut so that piece can go on. And it probably ain't gonna be easy because you got to get it on this piece before you stick it up. May have to let it down off of some of these clamps, but let's go ahead and cut it. All right, let's see if we can get this thing out of there. It's pretty heavy. Oh yeah, she's plugged. Okay, so definitely smell that catalytic converter. I got the exhaust brackets loosened all the way down except for the last one, and it's holding it up. And I think I want to put a tie wire through the frame so it don't fall to the ground. And fish it through the frame. Just like that. Came right out. You see that? That's pretty good. And we'll just kind of tie it up. I'm gonna let it sling down a little bit further than what we got right here. And I'm going to put the bolt back up into the hole so I don't lose it. And if I'm lucky, I'm able to slide this thing back and forward and get it in after we cut it. That would be the best. I don't know, we'll see. Let's see if we can get the new one up in there and tightened up. Definitely, the new one is a lot smaller than the old one, so bolting it on may be easier, and it's definitely a lot lighter. So let's compare the two. So here's the old one and the new one next to each other. Not too bad. This thing, oh my gosh, I think it's heavy. This thing is light. So I'm gonna try to get this one bolted on now. Then we'll see where we need to make a cut on this pipe for this thing to go over. And it goes into the old pipe, so not too bad. All right, let's get with it. These things are never, ever easy. But this thing is so much lighter. There's no way you're going to be able to see. There's no way. So I'll give you some pictures after I get it up in there. All right, this thing does not even fit. My bung is on top. I got a wooden block space in it to get the bung in, and you can see where it was hitting the heat shield. The bung needs to come out on the side. So I need to rotate this 25 degrees. But by doing that, it's gonna turn my pipe in the wrong direction. So you see how it's not even close. I mean, it does need to go that way some. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, get it to where I can get the O2 sensor on, cut the pipe somewhere right in here, weld it back on in the right spot, right next to fuel lines, of course, and then see if we can't get this thing all back together. Okay, so we got the catalytic converter cut off right here, because it would have been pushing up into the thing. And now we got the bung facing on the right side. It also is not hitting the floor. So I think we can put the O2 sensor back in, then we'll figure out the exhaust. All right. Wasn't easy, but I got it done. Let me show you what I got done here. So we got the catalytic converter bolted on. We turned it sideways, cut the pipe, then welded the other pipe. Had to crimp it kind of shut, then welded it, pulled it down. Then I had to kind of pull it down from the, took all the exhaust and pulled it down. That way I can get a nice bead all the way around it. Man, look at my face. But I think it looks pretty good. Hoping those things don't leak. I know that ain't gonna leak. That thing is looking good. O2 sensors in there, nice. Definitely gonna have to take a shower tonight. I can't say it wasn't easy. It was hard. It would have been easy if the part was right. It wasn't even bent in the right direction. So I had to do some manipulations on the thing to get it right. But now we shouldn't have a problem. Tomorrow morning I'll start it up and test the O2 sensors and all that stuff. See if we can get the codes to drop out of it and drive it. I think there's probably 2 inches of snow on the ground out there right now. Thank God I got my little heat pump and my little furnace over there going. But I think it's time to let this thing down. Make sure I ain't got no tools underneath here. That wouldn't be good, right? There's always like someone's got to leave like a 10mm socket, you know. Where'd my 10mm socket go? I think we're gonna be all right. Let's put this thing on the ground, and I'm sure my wife got me some supper. Ah. There we go. It was a little too high. It was pain. I had to keep raising it up. My welding helmet was hitting. We got it. We got it. This was a tough one. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it was in the 8 margin, because just exhaust itself is a pain in the butt. Sometimes it's better to go to a professional and get it done, because they got all the tools and everything right there. If it was the right part, it would have been easy. On a scale of 1 to 10, if they had the right part, probably would have been a 4 or 5. Getting the little bolts started up on the flange that goes into the exhaust manifold, that was pretty tough. You had to reach up there and blindly screw the screws in, but it's done now. All right, I'll see you guys in the AM, and we'll close out this video with the, because I ain't starting it up in here and smoking me out of here. We'll start it up tomorrow. All right, it's the next day, and I went ahead and topped off her fluids. She was about a quart low in oil. It's been 3 months since we last checked it, I believe. The beginning of maybe end of October, maybe. So it used up a quart of oil, and it was about a little bit low in the antifreeze department. And we had done changed all the fluid out of it. It may have been, there could have been some air trapped in the system. I don't see leakage on the ground, so I think it's okay. But we got to test drive this van today and see if it's running, because it left her stranded the last time she drove it. It's so plugged up. And I will say, the catalytic converter, you couldn't see through it. That is pretty bad, and it had all kinds of crumbly stuff caved away inside it. Now, I know once vehicles start burning oil, it's not good for the catalytic converters. They just don't process the oil in the catalytic converter. But you had to do something. So I think we're going to back this thing out, let it run for a little bit, let it warm up, and probably take it a trip down to the steampunk parlor, because she's got about 4 bags of trash in the back. And we'll throw those off. My wife already, Miss Brittany came and picked up Kendra and Carol to go to work. Today's my day off. We're gonna finish this video up and see if it works. May even, if the light goes off on the dash, we know it works. But if it doesn't, maybe we'll throw the code reader on her and see what it does. So let's get this car outside. All right, it's still running bad, like garbage. I think we're gonna put the OD2 Obi-Wan Kenobi meter on there and reset things, because it may be in cripple mode, because that thing was so plugged up. So we'll give it a try. What we got to lose, right? The Obi-Wan Kenobi meter is hooked in. Let's turn it on. 10% battery. Great. I think it has a USB charge. Let me go inside, check the connector. Yeah, it's got a USB charger. Okay, launch is launching. My daughter had a Sea Breeze. And that was the biggest piece of junk. I think it had the same motor. I sure hope her new Jeep Liberty ain't got the same motor, because we've had nothing but this van's got 123,000 miles and it shouldn't be having this kind of problems. All right, why ain't you on? All right. Launch is launching. Launch is launching. Figuring out, checking things. I need to make a little power station at my toolbox so I can keep this thing charged. Okay, this time it did it. So it knows what it is. Connecting. Please wait. Processing. Didn't like it when the engine was running, trying to clear codes. Yeah, a bird tried to attack me. Now there's only one fault. It's still saying the O2 sensor. I think I'm going to take it for a ride. All right. Let's take this thing for a ride. It sounds bad. It's only showing an O2. We're gonna run the system again after we take it for a ride. I'm not going far with it. I don't want to run into the pond. Kendra's right. Sounds like it's just not breathing. We're at 50 miles an hour on my back road. And my seatbelt's not on. Seatbelt on. Alright, we're going to take it up there, park it, and run the system test again. Alright, let's go see what the code says. Abnormal. So it's P0032. I think I'll take a picture of that. Well, you win some and you lose some, but I'm not done on it yet. I'm going to go ahead and order both O2 sensors again, because maybe with the catalytic converter being plugged up here, I'll show you how bad this catalytic converter was. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. And I cleaned it out some, but you can see there's a big old hole burned through it. And you could barely see the light passing through, where the new one I'm shining the light on the other end now. You can see through it now, but just barely. I beat it out on the floor here and got a lot of the stuff out of it, turned it upside down and beat it. Took a piece of metal and beat on the side of it, and I got it to where you can see through a lot of the holes again. Emissions. I hate emissions. I hate exhaust. But now that I got the lift, it makes it easier. My son put the O2 sensors on it out on a driveway about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, when it first started showing the codes. He reset it with his, and now that I got a lift, you can get to the O2 sensors. So the one is right on top of the exhaust manifold, and the other one is, well, you've seen where that one was, on the side of the catalytic converter. All right, hey, I'm not done with it. I got to go inside and do some cleaning because the snow tracked a lot of mud in. I got a new Aerobi mop. I'm going to put that thing to use, get that thing working. It don't work too bad. All right, anyways. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Man, it was rough. I'm going to tell you, it was rough. I don't like exhaust work. My luck with putting exhaust parts on that you buy is not good. I'd rather work on old stuff where you can just make it as you go. Like the me-haul truck. I like working on the me-haul truck. I'd rather work on my tractor all day long. But stuff that has to pass emissions and everything else, I'm glad I got that new Obi-Wan Kenobi meter. And I think it's pretty nice. They wanted me to report the car. You need to report this. I'll see you on the next episode of Fixing Things. Maybe it's going to be O2 sensors for this thing. Like I said, it's up for sale. If I can't get it to run good, I'm probably just going to call Pick Apart to come pick it up and empty all our stuff out of it. I mean, it's got heated seats. Man, them seats would be nice in the me-haul truck. Electric heated seats. Man, no. We'll do what we can. Let's see if we can't get this thing running and sold, and maybe to make some kid a decent car for about 2 miles. Another 20,000 miles, 50,000 miles. I don't know. It's got me. God bless you. I'll see you on the next Fixing Things with Pastor Bill.